Hello everyone and welcome to Nile Bite Academy. Today I'm going to take you through African Leadership University requirement. Whether you are applying as a scholar or you are applying as someone who want to pay yourself, today I'm going to teach you how to prepare yourself so that you are confident in any application that you are going to do. Without any further ado, let's get started. So now let's talk about the general requirement. Okay. So in every school there are always general requirements that are needed. So one of them it is a high school certificate. Whether you are studying under 6 years program or 4 years high school program, so you really need that. So if you are from other part of maybe South Sudan going back to Sudan, for the case of Sudan, you need three because that's where they aim and for Uganda and some part of Rwanda, yeah, they aim at senior six, so you need to provide those things. And you should not provide them alone, you should also provide them with transcript. So, what is the use of transcript? Transcript, most of the admission committee, they want to see your performance, okay? It is not just a matter of you are having A in final examination, but they want to see your consistency. Okay, at some point in life, there are some time whereby you are not fully well at that particular time. You might end up failing, and that one doesn't define you. Okay, so they want to see how maybe you have failed and how maybe you have risen to another height. I'm not saying that you must fail in the transcript, okay, but there are some circumstances in life that entangle us in the other direction. So the transcript will really talk about you, and it will show you that it will show the admission team that you are someone who is consistent and you are someone who really love to learn. So let's talk also about recommendation. You need recommendation from your is the school, of course, and you need some other recommendation. You need to have some people who talk good about you. If you are a teacher, let the head teacher maybe or the director of study let him or her recommend you. So recommendation is always handy. Also, equivalent certificate. You need an equivalent certificate, and how do you get that equivalent certificate? You apply uh, through Hirembo. So there is Hirembo platform here in Rwanda. So that's where you do all things that require maybe application for visa, application for equivalent certificate, so on and so forth. You also need bank statement. So why is bank statement really important? They want to know whether you are capable for those who are going to be paying and for themselves, not those who are going to uh, opt for the scholarship. So if you are applying as someone who want to uh, as someone who is going to pay for him or herself, you really need this bank statement, and it should have at least minimum of 1,500 or 2,000 there as the balance, so that they know that your parents are capable of sponsoring you throughout the entire process. So you also need English proficiency proof, whether it is track test, Duolingo test, or any test that you really have. At some point, the school also provide a student with English proficiency test within. So if you are offered that, then well, good and fine. So these are the requirement, and you can also add some other requirement. Any requirement that can make you stand out, any requirement that make your application stand out, it is really important in the process of the application. So traveling document, you need passport, of course. You need to have passport. Nowadays ALU it is now putting passport as priority because in in some few years back it was really challenging. They admitted a large volume of students and they end up not having a traveling document, and that's why it is really important to have that. You also need to have police clearance, and that police clearance should be valid at least for 2 months or 3 months. upon arrival. So technically, it is good to make your equivalent, not equivalent, you need to make your police clearance toward the end of toward the beginning of the term. Okay, like if you are planning to maybe fly in January, you need to work on it around November or December there. So that way you will have ample time, and it is not good to submit documents that have already expired. So also the passport should also have a minimum of 1 year, validity, so on and so forth. Yeah. So if you are applying for a scholarship, you need to demonstrate four things. The first thing, you need to demonstrate leadership potential. So are you a good leader? Are you someone who can lead others? And it is not just by saying, yeah, I am a leader and all, all that. You need to have some live example that you can share through your essays. Okay. And if you are someone who is really applying for financial aid, okay, or a scholarship, you need to really uh, give a genuine financial need, or you need to show that you genuinely need that financial aid. I'm not saying that you should cry, hey, we eat once at home. Some people are, when it comes to financial aid, they will try as much as possible to put some big lies, of which if i'm if I'm among the team that are reviewing your application, I will not really I will not be impressed. Okay, so and by that, it is really important uh, to show that you really need the finance, and not in a way that you are trying to be crying and you are trying to be uh, doing some of the things that are not realistic. Also, on your application, you need to show that you will give back to the community. One of the things that Mastercard believe in, it is give back. You know, after you are being empowered, so you need to give back to the community. And how do you give back to the community? Is by having some project, some intention that you are planning to do when you go back home. So you need to show that in your application. And secondly, not secondly, lastly, you need to have communication skill and self-awareness. You need to show to them that you are someone who can express him or herself to the public, because ALU is trying to raise leaders, and leaders are they who talk. Okay, they who are self-aware. Okay, they who try as much as possible uh, to speak about themselves. So yeah, that is that. Uh, there are some myth outside there about ALU financial aid. There are some myth, and today I'm going to try to uncover those myths. So one of the myths is that everyone who gets admitted automatically get full scholarship. That's a fat lie. Okay, so admission is different from financial aid, and it is different from from it is different from financial aid, and it is also different from scholarship. Okay, it is not that once you are given admission, you are admitted by default. Okay, I see a lot of people, once you receive that, hey, congratulations, you are fully admitted. Admission is different from financial aid. Financial aid has got its own email, and that emails will surely indicate that you have gotten a full ride MasterCard Foundation scholarship. Okay, so that is that. Another thing is that only grades matters for financial aid uh, for financial aid decision. So grade doesn't matter, but grades play some role. It is not done on maybe merit based, but they see your application holistically. Like they will see if you are good at communication, you are good at what, and all these things they sum up. Doesn't mean that when you have 90, you automatically get that. No. So that's that. Many people they think that it is only given to refugees, of which that is a fat lie also. So the scholarship is given to someone who demonstrate the, 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 the the need for that finances. Okay, if you are really capable, or if you are really uh, good at putting what you really need. So to the finance team, you will definitely get it. So aid are given to those who applied first. This is also a fat lie. I know many people who applied some days to the deadline and they got it. Okay, I'm not trying to say that you should delay. Okay, you shouldn't delay that, but you should try as much as possible to do your things quickly. What you should really need to do is that take your time, don't rush things. Okay, and that's why many people they submit the application halfway. Okay, you have not understood the application holistically, and you are just going there and you submit your application. Okay, make sure that your application first impresses you, and then you should try to submit it. So let me give you some useful tips. So one of them is you need to prepare yourself fully, of which I have stipulated that. So be authentic in your essays. Don't lie, okay? Don't tell the admission team that you have done ABC, of which you have never done a portion of them, okay? Make sure that you should be authentic. If you have done A, just report it as A. Don't say I have done this and that. So start early. Yeah, you need to start early so that you have ample time and you don't battle with deadlines. You need also to gather your document, gather all the requirements that I have stated before. Make sure that you put them in place and then you try to apply because the application for the African Leadership University, it is read only. Okay, once you have submitted that part, you have nowhere to go back and maybe upload some of those things. And in addition to that, you need to reach out to people. Okay, don't die alone. If you are facing some difficulties, you need to reach out to people who are already there, and they will be happy to help you. Okay, don't die alone. So, second to the last, never give up. Okay, try as much as possible, and you will get whatever things that you need. And lastly, and this tip is really very, very important, you need to check your email and spam folder daily. Okay. Some people miss their scholarships or miss ALU scholarship and admission because they did not check their spam folder. Okay. Make sure you always check your spam folder daily, and by that, you will have a chance to be really prepared to any things that comes up your way. So up to this far, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate that. My last request is that make sure you subscribe to this channel, share it with your friends so that you motivate me to make a lot of videos that talk about scholarship. Thank you. God bless you.